Greetings, our fellow Americans. We are anonymous. The Fifth Amendment states, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime, unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces, or the militia, when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, without due process of the law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. The Fifth Amendment says a lot more than the right to not incriminate yourself. I plead the Fifth is a well-known term. However, the Fifth Amendment also says that you cannot be handcuffed and put in jail for an infamous crime like murder without the conviction of a grand jury. Infamous crimes can basically be understood as felonies. This right does not apply to members of any standing army or the militia in time of war. And we were only supposed to raise an army for a period not to last more than 2 years. The grand jury indictment clause of the Fifth Amendment was not incorporated under the 14th Amendment. In other words, states are free to abolish grand juries and replace them with preliminary hearings. The Double Jeopardy Clause guarantees that Americans cannot be tried twice for or punished twice for the same crime. It does not say that if you serve your punishment for murder that you can commit murder again and get away with it. The clause was meant to protect people from being tried repeatedly until the government gets the verdict it wants. Self-incrimination clause basically states you have the right to not testify against yourself. At times in history, people could be tortured for not confessing to crimes they were accused of. The Due Process Clause grants that the government cannot take your life, liberty, or property without following the due process. Due process meaning enacted laws may not be carried out with unfair, arbitrary, or unreasonable treatment, and formal proceedings must be carried out with regular established rules. The eminent domain clause promises that if the government ever needs to take your property for public use, such as building a highway, that it must pay you a reasonable amount for the property. The recent Supreme Court case was controversial because it allowed a local city to confiscate homes in good condition for a project that got handed over to a private developer. The court ruled this was okay. So obviously the Fifth Amendment has been finger-fucked until it bled like an infected wound. Does anyone care? Is there anyone out there? Are you awake? Are you breathing? Is anyone alive and not glued to a program? Your rights are slowly disappearing. Wake up and see.